Why does being a high value man matter if you're not going to eventually start a family?
Because look at all the girls here. They're all propping themselves up to be that high value man. That's why.
Just to
Well,
clarify,
and we're calling that bleak and we're calling that out and saying it's empty. So why are we advocating for the same thing on the other side?
Because it's not going to change, bro. Feminism is here and it's not going anywhere. Like, women will not concede whatsoever. Like, they're going to continue to make money. They're going to continue to gain status. They're going to continue to, go up the ranks. Women are going to out earn men in the next 20 years. I predict it. They're dominating men when it comes to college
being
graduation.
Bleak about it is kind of a waste, because we've seen some, like, I think your answer is exactly what I saw girls in Eastern Europe doing, trying to get closer to God, working on their health, working on making sure they're emotionally mature. That's what Eastern European women are doing. So it's not like you can't just put a blanket over all the women here and say, give up and cut off your fucking balls from your dick so that you can.
No, I get that. I'm all for families, man. I've always said it. The nuclear family is the backbone of any thriving society. However, when half the equation of having a nuclear family doesn't necessarily prioritize a nuclear family, as a man, you got to make some adaptations, because if you do make a nuclear family with someone that isn't as interested in making a nuclear family with you, and they're rewarded for leaving that nuclear family through divorce courts, alimony, etc. As a guy, you got to kind of reassess how you want to move. So I'm saying families are fantastic, but it's a very dangerous proposition in the West, the United States. That's my thing. But I'm all for families, though. I am, trust me. Come from a two-parent household. I would probably be a fucked up idiot if I didn't come from a two-parent household. But my parents are from the Middle East. They have different culture values. Religion is a thing. Here, religion isn't that big. Feminism is here. Women prioritize careers, just seen through and all these girls are young too. That's the crazy part. Yeah, they're all young.
Young panel.
You know what I mean? So
what's your take on this? I want to hear Fresh and Fit's take on this. There's 15,000 men watching for the most part. Should men in their 20s get a vasectomy?
Personally, I would say, looking at it from a holistic standpoint, I get what Rolo's saying for the whole topic itself of being high value, because once again, if you get a woman pregnant that's not there for you, she could be against you and it could turn to many different things. But personally, like I was saying earlier, for me, I do want a family. If I meet the right woman, I think is going to raise that child. But for most men, do they have I want to say, resources to find a woman that they want of their dreams, or even get the right woman? Probably not. So to be safe, vasectomy might be in their best interest.
So yes.
No, I'm saying, okay, so
it's a yes or no.
It depends on the individual. That's what I'm saying. So it's up to the man to decide for himself. But I'm just saying, generally for me, I think family is very important. But I understand why most men might not want that, because finding a woman that's actually good for you may be kind of hard. So I get
a little bit.
In America specifically.
In America, yeah.
In America, to be specific.
What do you think?
Let's get the ladies' takes on it, and then I'll give my opinion, because I don't want to corrupt them with my take.
Okay.
All right, ladies. Let's make this a little bit more engaging. Let's say you have a son. He's 21 years old, building up a business, whatever it may be, is becoming somewhat successful. Actually, you know what? Let's say 30 years old, because let's be honest, 21-year-old guy is fucking useless. He ain't doing nothing with life. So 30-year-old guy, building up a business, he's on his way to becoming successful. Should he have a vasectomy, knowing how women move nowadays and how girls can trap guys? Should he have a vasectomy? We could start on the couch and then work our way. What are your thoughts to protect himself?
If he's really successful, I mean, I've seen men get trapped, so I'd probably be more prone to saying yes if he was, like a target. But on the whole, I think no.
Okay.
No, I would tell my son completely no to not do that.
Fair.
Honestly, if they don't want to have children, then yeah. But I think that every man should be able to decide if they want to have a children or not.
All right.
And it's important. So I don't think so, honestly.
Okay.
You can just find women that follow your values in another part of the world, as you said.
All right. So you're saying you just go somewhere else.
Yeah, just go somewhere.
But what if they decide to stay in the States?
Honestly, I still think that there's women out there that can be mother.
Okay.
What about material.
Honestly, if he wants to, then that's fine with me. But can't you get a vasectomy undone?
You can, yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be opposed to it at all.
You could also detransition after becoming trans.
I mean,
but you don't ever want people to do that in the first place. You're messing up your body. Once you take puberty blockers, you can go off them, but there's going to be a physical difference.
Exactly. I mean, if he wants to take that risk, I don't really care, because I know that they be getting some girls be lying, doing other shit, and he's trapped now, and then they take all his shit and then leave. So I'm not opposed to it at all, actually.
All right. What about you?
I would say no, but I mean, it's their choice. Like I would hope that I raise them like a good like they have a good sense of moral and they'd be able to pick the right like woman.
Okay. What about you?
I think it depends on a lot of like what his lifestyle is. Like if he's, let's say, starting his business and he's very focused on money and things like that, but he's like constantly meeting new women and engaging with these women,
Yeah.
then I would say, okay, there's like ways that you can use instead of a vasectomy to avoid the baby. But I have also heard of like women trapping men and things like that. But I feel like it's up to him. Like if he thinks like, no, I'm gonna get trapped. Like I'm getting like I'm meeting new women and I'm doing this and I'm like, having intimate moments with them, then you know what? Do what you want to do, what makes you happy. And
So
regarding
yes or no?
I feel like it's just up to him. Like if he want
What advice would you give him though?
I would say
As the
like,
mom.
as the mom of my son, I would say like don't go around, sticking it in whatever and whoever. Like, why don't you, if you're so focused on, starting a family or, you want to grow, why are you, giving time and energy into things that are just going to be gone in the next morning?
Based.
Okay, so I'll take that as a no. What about you?
No, I think there's
Okay.
still a lot of women with values and um that can like be a good mothers and stuff like that here in Florida.
Okay. In Florida?
Well, you say Florida, right?
Okay.
Because she's
Well, I
saying,
mean in the United States.
oh well, yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I wouldn't want him to. I would just tell him to work on his discernment as far as who he's having sex with.
Mhm.
But if he made the decision to have sex with somebody unprotected or whatever happens, then he has to live with those consequences.
All right. What about you?
I personally would tell him I wouldn't want him to do it,
Mhm.
but like you can't really control what happens. Things happen. And yeah, that's what they have to live with and they have to deal with that and provide for that child and you always just have to be careful.
Okay.
I mean, at his big age, I feel like he should know the consequences of doing something like that or not. I would definitely advise him against it because, like you were saying, puberty blockers and all that. Like once you do something to your body, it's very hard. I mean, impossible to reverse anything that you've done. So, I mean, hopefully I would have raised him to where he would make that decision and it would be sound on his part. But I would advise him against it.
Your advice? Okay.
How old did you say your son was gonna be?
We'll say 30.
30?
Yep.
He's a grown man. I'm not gonna be telling him what to do with his balls
Real.
or anything. Like, you need to wrap it before you tap it. Even if you do have a vasectomy, what if you get an STD
Bars.
or something?
All right. My take on it, man, I think it's a sliding scale. The more successful the guy, the more money he has, the more he has to lose, the more a vasectomy might be a good choice. But again, it depends on the guy. If the guy's not smashing at all, do you want to do that? And obviously you can always undo the snip. So it really depends on the individual. And I think the two main variables are his success and how promiscuous he is with dealing with women. I think those two factors heavily influence the decision. It's going to change per person.
Right, but his
guy.
take, Rolo's take was that to be a high value man, the top 3 steps: avoid family creation, get a vasectomy, and have a network. It's just like the generic male self-improvement stuff. But like 2 of the top 3: get a vasectomy and avoid family creation. Do you agree?
Did he say avoid? I don't think he said
Yes,
avoid.
word for word. Avoid family creation.
It's on
top,
Twitter.
Top
It's
3
a
steps to
long
become a
list.
high value man.
Okay. I didn't see this tweet. I'll have to
Yeah.
take a look at it. But I mean, here's the thing. I think what he means by that is being the most, when he says high value man, he's talking from the perspective of being able to be a playboy and get as many girls.
But why is that a priority over having a family? Like, why would that even be advice? Why would that be a male self-improvement advice? Be a playboy instead of raise a family?
Well,
we make fun of women all day for wanting to be girl boss queens and sleep around and have all this, and then you tell guys be a playboy instead of raise a family. That's the same advice on the other side.
Because here's the thing: when you're a playboy, you're going to be better at raising the family, and the reason.
But he's
for
saying
that,
avoid family creation.
Well, he's saying to be a high value. He's talking from the frame, knowing Rolo because I know him personally. He's talking from the frame of being a guy getting a lot of girls, and then if you decide you want to get a family down the road, you can always unsnip and then go ahead and go down the family route. But in today's day and age, I agree to a degree that you need to have sex with at least 50 girls as a guy. I've talked about that all the time. It's controversial, but the reason why I say that is because most women are more promiscuous than most guys. So if you're a dude and you're getting out here and dating girls and you get your pee-pee wet with the first girl, she could sell you a dream and you'll be like, oh yeah, this is great. So guys got to get out there and be sexually experienced. So he's talking from the frame of being attractive.
I think most guys out here are not going to be able to control their sexual urges. So he's saying as a
dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The quickest path to becoming a high-value man. Do not get married, avoid family creation, vasectomy in your 20s, live consistently, eliminate all sedations, learn game and networking, play to your strengths, build wealth, resist easing up on your focus. He's talking about increasing your value when you're young.
Becoming successful, yeah.
Becoming successful. Yeah.
Avoid family creation and get a vasectomy.
Yeah, because when you, dude, because your value doesn't go up until you're built something, and that's typically going to be in your 30s.
So most guys,
that's what he's saying.
What do they focus on? Girls the whole time. He's saying at this point in your career, when you're on the way up, focus on things that are going to help you move forward in life and become successful.
And get a surgery done that prevents you from having children.
Yeah, but you can always reverse it.
That's not like a lot of the times that shit messes up. That's not something you could just like hope that it's going to be okay.
Generally, most men can't control their urges. So what's going to happen is they're going to go fuck around and get somebody pregnant.
This is how you rise up the path to become high status, because you're eliminating all variables that can fuck you up.
Yeah, it's about
that's
risk,
what he's saying.
Risk mitigation right there.
How many dudes do you know that could have made it to the NBA or could have been a star and an athlete or something that got some chick pregnant?
Yeah.
Like kids a lot of the times ruin dudes' futures because they have kids prematurely. So he's saying this is the path to becoming a high value man. And then once you become that guy,
reverse the
then you can
vasectomy.
reverse the vasectomy.
Yeah.
Do
you think that's good advice? I mean, that's good advice if your qualifications of a high value man is a guy with a big body count. But it might be like I thought.
No. He's talking about increasing your value as a man. You're basically what he's doing is he's retard proofing it.
Yeah.
If you have vasectomy and you bust nuts at girls, you're not going to have a kid, so you're not going to fuck up your future when you're young and you're not in a position to raise that child. That's what he's saying.
We all know what is men's biggest weakness: women. And as a result, what happens is what's another factor for not having success? Having a kid too early. That's reality.
That's the number one wealth killer, dude.
Yeah,
kids. If you really look at it, it's the number one wealth killer.
Once again, we support families.
Yeah, we do.
But at the same time, for what he's saying to become successful,
You
at a young
can't say
age,
that you support families and also tell your audience to get a vasectomy.
We didn't say that. We just said we're
you're toting the fence about.
We're explaining why he said that.
Do you agree?
I understand why he said it.
You see how you're ducking? You see how you're ducking the question?
No,
it's a simple
but
question.
it's not me. It's not about me. It's about the generational.
I'm asking your opinion.
No. SNEAKO, you're funny.
It's just a question.
No.
Bro, we make the girls on the panel answer questions specifically all the time. It's just, do you agree? Yes or no?
Personally, my decision has nothing to do with
this
discussion. I'm just saying for you.
Politician answer.
I understand why he's saying that.
Yeah, you see, your thing is he's talking about how to become a high value guy. That's good advice.
I have a follow-up question for
you're
the
eliminating
girls.
fuck up bullshit, like shit that will fuck you up.
Can I ask her on the panel now, the ladies here? What is your definition of a high value man? We could start with Kara on the couch.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for advocating for that just now. I appreciate a man saying that. But
well, you dodged him like a motherfucker.
Wait, what was the title? What was the question? Sorry.
What are your qualifications for a high value man?
Okay.
What's your idea of a high value man?
A high value man is somebody who's successful, who is intelligent, who is hardworking, and who has integrity, and who's a genuine person.
We're gonna let them define it. You're not gonna give them a okay. All right. So their definition of what you're asking them what makes a high value man qualify? Okay.
What qualifies a man as high value?
Okay. Not what they qualify.
It.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. So you said what? Integrity. What else?
Integrity, being genuine, man of character.
Yeah, and also being good at what you do. I think too.
Okay. What if he's good at playing World of Warcraft?
No, like be good at something and in life, like be successful at something in life. Figure out what that is for you and be impressive in that way.
Okay.
Just to add to what you guys were talking previously, I'm gonna answer the question now. It's just like the example. I forgot his name on the top of my head, but you guys should know the famous soccer player from that his I guess he was getting a divorce or whatever, and most of his assets was towards his mom, like all of them. That's something that I would advise my son. Like, hey, if you feel doubts of who you're marrying or something like that, but you still love them, put everything under my name.
That wasn't the question.
No, I know. I just wanted to add to what was being spoken to previously. But what I think a high A high value man is ambition, integrity, like she said, honesty, loyalty, actual loyalty. And yeah, basically that's it. And hardworking.
Okay.
Very similar to yeah.
What about you?
Not that different, honestly. Just being like hardworking, family oriented, like being there if we have a child, you know. Integrity too, like having their being focused on what they want to do in life. Just not being all over the place.
All right.
Okay.
I just want someone that's loyal and genuine and like happy with me, I guess.
Well, maybe don't answer the question about who you want to be with, but what do you think qualifies a man as someone who's high value?
That is high value to me.
Okay.
Like honestly, you just need to be a good person, and I think that that's high value.
Is your ex these traits?
Huh?
Is your ex loyal and genuine and a good person?
Was he? No.
So why do you hang out with him?
'Cause he's chill.
Because he's chill?
Yeah.
What the Okay.
Because I want to. I don't know.
So he's not loyal or genuine or good?
No. Okay. So he's good.
Okay.
He's now genuine, and I believe now he is loyal,
So are you going
but not before. I feel like people can grow. No.
Okay.
So never mind. That's fine. Go ahead.
So I would say, like, to me, a high value man is someone that prioritizes like his health. So like health, like as in fitness, just like eating well, like skincare, things like that, and like of course like being ambitious, loyalty, communication, honesty.
Okay.
I agree with the health thing because I've met a whole bunch of guys that think that like taking care of themselves is very feminine and they're like very against it and things like that, and it leads to them just being dirty. But I think that a high value man is a man that has a goal in life and that I like a man with a lot of wisdom. I like a man that can, tell stories and give advice and it's actual good advice and they know what they're talking about. I also like a secure man. I think that a high value man is insecure in himself and he reps what he is and he doesn't care about like what other people have to say or what they're doing. I think it's a very high value man.
All right.
I think a high value man is a successful one, a man that comes with a family oriented, religious oriented, somebody who takes care of the person that is next to him, in a sense of like being a gentleman, opening the door, those little things that makes the big difference.
Okay.
Some traits of a high value man to me is someone who is respectful, also respected by others, treats other people how he wants to be treated, goal oriented, brave, courageous, works on himself, always self-improvement is crucial. So whether that be health, spirituality, his physical body, always self-improving.
So I definitely think a high value man is who they are as a person. So I would want someone who has integrity, someone who has some sort of passion, something they're working towards. I really appreciate passion. I feel like it's something that drives me as well. So also I'd want them to be loyal and honest. So
I really think a high value man is if has Maslow's hierarchy of needs, he's kind of at the top where he's at self-fulfillment and he's able to give back to others. So he's holding himself at a high value and he does everything in his power to become the best person he is, and then he's able to give back to other people too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I think is a high value man, someone that's like more mature in a sense, like they're past the phase, like especially here in Miami, like blowing their money on tables and bottles and going out. Like a high value man, a high value man to me is like a workaholic, has his like not his finances in order, but he knows how to spend his money rather than like waste it.
Okay. I realized today and like while traveling the world that I probably agree with women's idea of a high value man more than the red pill space's idea of a high value man.
How dare you?
I think women, did you see how all of them, none of them brought up finances really? None of them brought up like the way you look. None of them talked about like what you wear. And all of it is about character. It's
SNEAKO
about
took the TradCon pill, bro.
Yeah,
it's about your personality.
It's important. It's important. TradCon pill, bro.
No, look, it's important to have wealth and it's important to have status in mind. But that's what this space is kind of avoiding a lot of the time is that that's an extremely important part of becoming high value. And if we actually want to raise a family, that's an extremely important part of male self-improvement.
SNEAKO, her man has these traits now. Why is she with him?
Did you say that?
What?
Your man has those traits?
He's not my man, but
Your
I
ex,
think
your
he's
ex.
working towards it. That's why we're not together because I don't.
He's
wanna
working
be
toward.
with
He's
him.
not there yet. They're in high school.
no.
She just
But it's a high school
But
relationship. That's not a good comparison.
No. But that's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like the thing is that girls are gonna say things that are politically correct, and it sounds good. Like, oh, notice how she said a guy who has his finances in order, and then what did she say? Doesn't spend his money stupidly. That's having your finances. Like, I don't really care about finances, but like have their finances order, but not really. But like, just don't spend money stupidly.
Her and
it's
the
like,
kids.
Like, I get it. Like the girls are on a podcast, they don't want to make themselves look like bad or whatever. But dude, I mean, let's just keep it 1,000. I always say it. All women are gold diggers. Some are just better at hiding the shovel. They hide it up with words like passion or ambition or drive,
goals.
Or goals. Like, hey man, look, man. You had that TradCon pill, bro. Like, because
so what's the alternative? Getting of a like, are we advocating towards getting a surgery which prevents you from having children? That's not even to compare that to birth control is insane. That surgery is not meant to be reversed. It's meant to be permanent. You didn't say like put on a condom or like be absent for a little bit. The red pill ideology is literally avoid family creation and get a dick surgery.
SNEAKO.
And you didn't even say no to that. You're like, well,
Hold on.
maybe.
You have to understand context. What is the context? The context.
How to become a high value man from the red pill Godfather.
Yes, but
the
when you're
fastest way, the quickest way to do it. That's important, dude. He said the quickest way to do it. Avoid family creation, focus on making money, go to the gym,
Get a vasectomy.
all the self-improvement stuff. Because a lot of guys, remember, dude, the average guy doesn't have much dick discipline. They'll get a girl pregnant when they're 18, 19,
Instantly,
20,
bro.
21. So if you get a vasectomy, what does it do? It makes it retard proof. He's giving advice for the lowest common denominator. Quickest way to be a high value guy for the lowest common denominator. That's the advice, dude. A lot of people will sit there. How many guys do you know that could have been stars that got a girl pregnant in high school?
Now, once again, context. This is not geared towards family. It's geared towards becoming successful in a high value light.
So who is the high value man? Who qualifies that? Because all the women in here, they just said that it's about ambition, it's about character, your personality. Is it you flexing for other guys? Who's qualifying? Like, who are you becoming high value for? Other dudes on the internet?
So ultimately, when you're done with that list, so to speak, and you're successful, you now are seen as a prize to women. So, for example, yes, you could have a good personality, have good energy, good vibe. That's cool. But long term, becoming successful is going to be the key factor for most people. So he's just saying to get there faster, do these steps. Now, ultimately, like I said before, family-wise is not, I want to say, the best
And
way.
here's the other thing too, bro. I don't mean to call any of these ladies out, but they said a bunch of bullshit. They don't even care about any of these things unless they're attracted to you first. There's plenty of
What makes you attractive, though?
Well, hold on. But you're not gonna give a fuck about his personality or being genuine or his integrity if he's not handsome enough or if he doesn't qualify.
But it wasn't talking about what they're attracted to. It's their idea of a high value man. And so then what's more important?
But they're not gonna give that guy a chance unless he meets certain prerequisites. Girls always assume attraction when you ask them.
I feel like you're assuming that.
I'm assuming what?
That somebody, I feel like there's a lot of girls who you could use the word settle, if it fits
so
their
you'll
vibes.
accept integrity, passion, loyalty, and honesty. A homeless guy can give you that.
I mean, I think there's a lot of girls. I think you're exaggerating the situation, but I think there are a lot of girls.
It's not that. What I'm saying is that women give surface level answers that a multitude of men can actually give them. But the problem is that they only want it from a minority of men. Because girls, right? Because a lot of these things you guys mentioned, dude, you know how many guys can give you guys this? But y'all ain't picking them.
So
Come on, man, let's operate in reality here. The dude, he doesn't even get to show you these traits unless he's attractive first. That's my point.
So what makes him attractive?
Maybe his height, maybe the way he speaks to you, his tonality, all these things.
His game.
How many guys you got in the friend zone right now?
What is the friend zone?
How many guys do you have
Male
right now
friends.
that you're friends with that you're not currently having sex with?
I don't know.
You're in the music industry, correct?
Yeah.
Guarantees a bunch of guys that are in the
In my
friend zone.
inbox, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you talk to them and you know them, maybe they help you here and there, blah, 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 right? I guarantee a bunch of those guys have these things that you mentioned, but you
Right.
ain't giving them a chance because they don't meet a look level yet, or they're not handsome enough, or they're not confident enough, maybe they're not tall enough.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is that girls give surface level bullshit that a bunch of guys can get to them, but they're not attractive enough, so they don't care that these guys have these traits. So being high value, bro, it's like they only care about these traits and consider high value for when it's from the right guy.
Right. But let's not just talk about when it comes to being attractive. What's more important, being successful or having a family?
Having a family.
What do you guys think?
Successful.
Wait, so for the man or for the
it
woman?
seems like the red pill ideology is that being successful is more important. It's not about attracting a woman. Like, what's more important for a man? What should a man's priority be? Having a family or being successful?
Being successful first every single time, because then you have the ability to choose. But if
Not
you're
anymore. Not if you get the vasectomy, then you can't have the family.
Dude, you can undo a vasectomy. Like, I don't know why you keep saying like you can undo a vasectomy.
It's that one
point. Sometimes.
It's that one point that has you tripped out. Remember, dude,
but it
that
says avoid family creation. Like we
at the beginning stages, bro. Dude, that's not a long term. It's
that's
a short term.
He said quickest way, which means short term strategy to building your value up as quickly as possible. That's retard proof. That's not going to get you in a
Look,
jam.
I'm not saying that you should have a kid when you're extremely young, but I am saying that we should be focused on becoming good fathers too. Just like we make fun of girls for prioritizing their careers and wanting to be girl bosses and wanting to build an empire, they're not prioritizing motherhood immediately. And then we're saying, men, ignore family creation, get a vasectomy so you could focus on getting rich. And then you'll be 40, you'll have all these hoes and girls, and then start a family. Like, how are we building men to become good fathers if they've been only prioritizing success? If they have a dick surgery, how do they have the character that's going to lead a proper family?
So you're saying
because they've dealt with a bunch of hoes first, so they know what a good woman is.
So you're saying us as men, when we're young, should have kids early, right?
No,
No,
he didn't
no,
say
that's not
that.
what he said.
I didn't say that.
But what's the priority then? Family or
It
success?
doesn't mean that you need to have kids young, but it shouldn't be avoid family creation in your head. That's an important thing to think about when you're young too. How am I going to have the character? How am I going to have the maturity, the responsibility to become a good father when I am ready to do it?
So what age should men have kids then?
I would say early 30s is probably ideal.
30s?
Yeah, I would say like early 30s, mid 30s.
See, you just proved that point. That list is for people in their 20s, not their 30s.
Well, there
So
you go.
also-
You
so
have a
also-
vasectomy, you
so-
can't have kids in your early 30s. That's the point of the surgery.
No.
You can maybe reverse it, but you can't have, like, that's what that surgery is permanent.
So all in my 20s, what should I be doing?
You should be working on your character. You should be working on your maturity. You should be getting closer to God. A lot of the things that we're praising the women for to become a good mother, that's important things for men
So be
to focus
broke.
on too.
I work on characters.
I didn't say be broke. It's equally important to work on your finances. Women aren't going to say that, of course. I'm telling guys, you should get rich as possible too, but you should also be working on like building your character and looking at how I'm going to raise my kids and how I'm going to be a good father. If you're 40 and you have all these hoes and you have experience with hoes, is that going to make you a better father? Probably not. You'll just know how to avoid a bad woman, but it's not, you don't need to fuck 100 women to realize what a hoe is. A hoe is a girl. You look at her Instagram, you know she's a hoe or not. You don't need to get all these women in order to understand
No,
that.
you don't.
Can I
Once again, you need to be able to decipher from experience who's a hoe and who's not. We're just saying, look.
Do you think it's that hard to see who a hoe is?
Bro, come on. Really?
I feel overall men should have a self-control when they're in their early 20s. Yes, by nature, like, you know, you're going to go be promiscuous and all of this, but you also can have if you're working to get closer to God, you will create a self-control within yourself to not be sexually like promiscuous and just having sex with everyone and get someone pregnant.
And
you could use a condom too.
Can I say too, I think what SNEAKO's also trying to explain is that when you have a culture that bashes Western women about how we're focusing on the wrong things when we're young, but then you praise men for perpetuating that culture, I think what SNEAKO is trying to say is we need to teach men to have similar values to where we can come to the same page so that we don't damage each other and hurt each other in our 20s. And then you're 40, you're a 40-year-old man and you have a bunch of young bimbos around you and you don't know how to have a relationship with somebody who's quality.
Okay.
What's the funny part? I'm
that
curious.
sounds. I'm laughing because because the thing is that feminism is here and it's not going anywhere. You just heard all these girls' answers.
What is
That
feminism?
Quite literally
Girl
what
boss
indoctrinated
queen,
you to give
yeah.
the answers you just gave a second ago. Feminism.
explain it?
Feminism.
Building an empire.
Yeah, like all of you guys gave very masculine answers when we asked you. We asked you, first it was, do you want to be a mom? Then we asked you, what are you working on right now to be a mom in the future? All of you gave masculine answers to be able to provide, work on your education, whatever, which is cool. But what I'm saying is that all of you guys are young, and your answers show the indoctrination that feminism is here and it's not going anywhere. It's even seeping into women from foreign countries. So, SNEAKO, I get what you're saying, bro.
So is it better advice?
Here, let me just finish real quick. In an ideal world, I wish it was 1950. I wish we could go back to guys getting married at 21, 22, having a wife that is great and everything else like that, the tradcon life. But those days are gone, bro.
Right.
Like if guys sit here and say, I really want to be a dad, and they don't have sexual experience, they're setting themselves up for failure. You can see all these tradcon relationships going down the tubes. And I get it. Like, it sucks. It's fucked up. But at the end of the day, men are the ones that risk everything when they become a father, when they get married, etc. Women are incentivized to leave the guy. So we're operating in 2023 standards, not 1950 standards.
Women risk their bodies to give birth to kids. How can you say they don't risk anything?
Bro. Seriously?
Yeah.
Let
me ask you a question. Hold on. Okay.
Go ahead.
Who has to bring more to the table to get a relationship? The man or the woman?
The woman.
Really?
The man.
Thank you. Someone's operating logistically.
I mean, at first,
logically.
yeah, the man has to, most of the times court the women, but at the end of the day, like,
Well, no. What does he have to even be able to court the woman?
I mean, whatever she thinks is attractive to her, whether physical or, mentally.
Okay, let me answer it for you because you don't want to be blunt about it. Women look for certain things: height, income, strength, competence, confidence, ambition, all these things that take time to acquire. When a man gets with a woman, he's effectively 9 out of 10 times better than her in most regards. That's the truth. Women don't date down, they date up.
And you answer this so confidently because you yourself are a woman?
I know exactly what women want because men, unlike women, have to know what women want to get them, but women don't have to know what men want to get them.
Yeah, and you date those guys, so
like the reality is men have to approach women, correct?
Majority of the times, but I think with these
men
new
have to ask
times,
women on
I don't
dates,
know.
correct?
Majority of the times.
Men have to initiate conversation.
Majority.
Men have to plan a date.
Majority.
So effectively, they have to understand women to get sex, correct?
Correct.
Women are on the receiving end, which means they're the ones being courted, correct?
In the beginning stages, correct.
Yes. So in other words, the guy has to bring a lot to the table to even get a chance to be able to court the girl, correct?
At the beginning stages, correct.
Okay. So the point I'm trying to make is that men must bring way more to the table to even get the attention of a woman. So therefore, when they get in the relationship with the girl, they're bringing more resources and bringing more to the table than women do in general. Men don't ask much for women, but women ask a lot for men. So
yeah, I think that's really. I think that's based
Yeah.
on your relationship.
I think that men ask for a lot more than they think they ask for. But when it comes to resources, yes, you guys do come with a lot and you guys do bring a lot and provide for us. But I think when it comes to mental, spiritual, and things like that, we provide a lot for men.
It's not tangible though.
Yes, it's not tangible, but when you work on your spiritual, your mental, it elevates everything in your life. Because if you look at people who are making money, where is their mind space at?
They don't pay the bills. Listen,
money pays the bills.
That's what I'm saying. What you're bringing to the table is nice, is great, but ultimately for the family to actually survive, you got to pay the bills.
If
And
you
that takes
look at
money.
empires, who is the woman on side of the man?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Pretty much.
But she's there.
The kings are known. Those
but
wives are-
she's there.
yeah, but in the background, we're saying ultimately for a family to work, money is going to be important.
Money is extremely important, but the part that I disagree with you, Myron, is that I understand. We agree that feminism has completely ruined most women in the West.
Yeah.
But the advice from this space is instead of navigating that, instead of trying to find a good woman, get a vasectomy and then sleep with all of them and then understand their nature. Why not just understand that a lot of these women are unwifeable and then navigate around that instead and just not spend your time and invest your energy into women that you don't even respect or like in the first place?
even if you do find a traditionally conservative woman that will sit there and be a good wife,
She'll crowder you.
Huh?
She'll Steven crowder
She
you.
can still crowder you because the thing is, people. This is what I want guys to understand. Even if your girl loves you, whatever, and you guys have a relationship, everything else like that, the upside of her leaving you is so high, like she gets so much benefit that a lot of the time women aren't going to sit there and deal with it. The duty, they're like, fuck that. I can get half his money, get the kid, get child support, live this same lifestyle and go date someone else that's going to make
I'm
me
not
happy.
even advocating towards marriage. I'm advocating towards family creation. Well, I think it's worthwhile to get married within the church or within the mosque, and then avoid that whole legal battle. Don't give away half your money. Get married
then
within
we can
religion.
have a conversation.
That's my point. I never said that other thing. You think I'm going the TradCon route? It's over. Like Steven Crowder's wife proved that's going to happen. They were married when they were virgins. They were the only people, and then she still said, "You're emotionally abusing me." Garbage. That video was edited. She stole it. Women are incentivized to do it. Hakimi, she brought that up at the couch. It's not a good idea. But if you get married within a religion, and then you could give her.
There's still some states that will look at that as a marriage of the state, dude.
And child support.
We
as
had
well.
a whole podcast with lawyers on that.
There's no escape, bro. Child support. And then, dude, once again, those states you mentioned before, if you're with her too long in the same household, that's your life.
So don't even do it. Just give her the ceremony. Most of these women, they just want to put on a dress and they want to feel pretty. They want to take pictures.
They want the whole ceremony.
If you're actually high value, yeah, they'll do the ceremony. It doesn't mean you need to get like legally married. If you can get around that,
papers, bro.
They don't want the papers. They don't give a fuck about the papers. They just want the pictures in the wedding dress.
It's like the U.S. for
guy. Get the ideals that you want, which is perfect. I think, dude, 100% it should be that way, but it's not, bro. It's not.
Yeah,
I know it's not, but there's better ways. My point, there's better ways to navigate it than getting a surgery that prevents you from having children. That's just not good advice. If you that's extremely black pill. That's not going to create a good future society.
Right.
Here's my thing. I'm saying women are not going to concede on feminism. They're going to continue to progress. They're going to continue to chase careers. They're going to continue to be ambitious and make money. This is the future of the women. All these girls here are young. So what I'm saying is that as men, you need to acclimate to the new environment. Women prioritize money and success now more than family a lot of the times, and that's fine.
Okay.
So you got to acquiesce to that new normal.
Can I get a yes or no on this question?
Hold on, real quick. Rolo's here in the chat. He says, a lot of presumption going on today. Getting a vasectomy doesn't have to mean banging random
Right, so he's
chicks.
advocating for a vasectomy. I want to hear a yes or no, at least. Myron, like yes or no,
what?
Should the men watching this get a vasectomy to become a high-value man in their 20s?
Again, I told you, it's a sliding scale on the male. If the guy makes money and he's promiscuous, having a vasectomy might be a good move for him. But if you're a dude, you're not smashing girls like that, or maybe you have a monogamous relationship, then maybe no. Just wear a condom. Don't be a retard. But it depends on the individual, man.
You don't
Because
have a hard
gotta remember-
stance on this?
No, you can't, because here's the thing with men. Men don't have the same sexual options that women do. There's a minority of men that are fucking all the girls. We know this. So you can't put the same set of rules on one set of guys as other guys, because other guys don't have the ability or the option to even get the girls.
I think it's equivalent to like having a stance on abortion. You can either be pro-life or pro-choice. You're pro-choice, for example, you're pro-choice. I'm pro-life. I don't think that people should think of abortion as a birth control option. Like, I think a vasectomy can be as hard as that. I think it's the equivalent. It's like an abortion for men. I think you should have a hard stance on an issue like this.
You ever use a plan B? Don't like.
Yeah.
Nigga, shut up, bro.
Plan B's not abortion.
Yo,
Plan
bro,
B's not
it
abortion.
is pre-abortion, bro. Come on, man.
It's for the mental security,
bro,
not for the killing the baby thing.
You funny, SNEAKO. You funny. You
Are you really going to equate a Plan B to an abortion?
Nigga, you just said
that's not the same thing. We all know that's not the same thing. You have to go into the clinic.
Baby, SNEAKO.
I didn't kill no baby. I just didn't want the panic. I didn't want the text. I just wanted to go the clarity.
No vasectomy, right?
Yeah.
No plan Bs then.
Yes, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
No, man.
That's fair. I've done it in my past, but I don't advocate towards that. I would say it's probably not the best option to think of Plan B as
New
an
name.
option.
New name is SNEAKO.
SNEAKO. 2023.
SNEAKO. Sneak conservative, man.
Oh man.
What, you're not a conservative?
Here's the thing. I have conservative views on most things, but there are some things that I just have to operate on 2023 standards, bro. I wish it was 1950, SNEAKO. I really do, bro. I wish I could. And here's the other thing too.
I'm not saying it's 1950. I'm not going forward with the TradCon mentality. I'm saying that it's just better to avoid these women and try to.
You gotta go somewhere else.
That's
okay. Then
that's
yo,
better
go somewhere
advice
else?
than
Cool.
It's better advice than like.
Let's be look, bro. Most Americans don't have passports. Let's keep it all the way 1,000. Most Americans never leave the United States.
Well, we tell guys to go get their money up and get in shape. Why can't you tell these guys to get a passport?
Okay,
SNEAKO,
if they
I
wanna go,
agree.
that's
you
fine.
can find good women in America. The problem is to find good women that actually want to be with you and with the family. Genuinely, is gonna be tough because most men are visible.
Yeah, we agree on that.
Right. So we're just saying, have your options, but you need to know how to filter. And these steps that Rolo said earlier can
Okay,
lead to-
stop ducking. Hard stance. Pro or con. Yes
I'm
or
gonna
no?
give you this. As a man, you got to decide for yourself. Individual stance and goals will determine.
Advice for your audience. They really value. You guys are the #1 men's self-help podcast in the world, right?
Yeah.
I think this is an important issue to have a stance on.
I'm gonna ask you directly. So, audience, as a man, right, you have to decide for yourself, what do you want? Do you want a family or do you want to be successful? But ultimately, what leads to what? I'm just saying, personally speaking, if you're successful, you have a better chance of getting a better family. And at the same time, proving Rollo's point, vasectomies do help certain men because, once again, men are horny as fuck, bro. They want to fuck bitches. So once they fuck girls, what happens with, like you said earlier, plan Bs, because things do happen. So to avoid this mistake or things happening out of wedlock, you should actually get.
I think you're looking into the vasectomy way too much.
Yeah.
He's giving advice to make it retard proof, bro.
Pretty much.
I understand that, but now I think we can go further, and I think our value system is different. I think that overall, in your life experience, the happiest state you're ever going to be in is with children, is with grandchildren. I don't want to die. Like I could be in my funeral bed and have a bunch of Lambos and watches around me, but that's not going to make me happy. I want to have my grandchildren there.
Okay.
That is the most important part of your legacy.
That's fair.
Do you agree with what's more important to you?
No, I agree. Having a family is good for your legacy, 100%.
Is that the most important?
But how you get there is very important because, once again, if you're broke, you can't help your family. And what's the point of having a family? You pretty much, like, to me, personally speaking, if you can't afford to raise a family, there's no point having a family.
Facts.
No, you're a bum like Chris. That's not cool, bro. Sorry, Chris. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think, SNEAKO, you're kind of like, men don't adhere to the same timeline that women do. Like, women have a finite amount of time to find a man. You know what I mean? Like, for you ladies that are in your mid-20s, 30s, etc., like, y'all need to like really rush and get pregnant and have a family. For us, bro, you can have kids until you're 40, 50, whatever it may be. And you might be a better dad at that age because you're more experienced. You have your money.
Mature.
You can put your kids in private school versus putting them in public. You can really, your woman doesn't have to work, so she can stay and raise the kids. So I look at it like, okay, I might put off kids for 10 years, right? And I'm putting off the family, but I worked at it 10 years extra. Now my wife don't got to work.
Ooh.
Now my kids can go to private. Now my kids have a driver. Now we're in the best neighborhood. Now I don't got to worry about shit. So is it worth it to have a family younger when I could have acquired more status and resources to give the children a better life?
Ladies,
I will say that 10 years is worth it because as a man, that you're not on that time clock.
Ladies, real quick, what do you prefer? Having kids early on with your high school sweetheart, or having kids later on with someone that's successful and can take care of you and the family? What do you prefer?
Later on.
What do you prefer?
Later.
Definitely later.
Later.
On the between like now and 30s, like 27.
So in
30s.
between.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think later, but also really depends on like where the man is too. Like,
So you want kids now?
no, but that's because also I can't talk. Like, it's not like there's a man in my life where I've met someone and I'm like, oh, I could have a kid.
What if you did? You want kids right now? Be honest. Don't cap. I'm watching you right now.
Me, I'm not in the position. I
Okay.
have other things.
What about you?
I would say later, but
Later?
with the right person, maybe soon.
For you?
Later.
For you?
Later.
For you?
Oh, well, I basically waited till later. So
yeah,
later.
you,
yeah.
No.
you're
But I don't think he's explaining like to have it at a young age. Like I think he's explaining that it's just to have a family. I mean, it depends also what you guys consider of like what is being rich, what is being successful, having money. I mean, you could be a middle class man, find a good woman, and have a family. You
Where?
know.
middle class is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Nowadays is the have or have nots. But what about you?
Later.
So ultimately, SNEAKO, you can see here on the panel, women prefer a mature, successful man that can take care of the family, not just someone that's going to be character build and what's the other one you said? More mature.
Good father.
Good father.
Good father.
So just saying.
Good father.
Yeah, but I talked to a lot of guys. Actually, Tristan Tate specifically said like he actually wished he had kids when he was younger. I think he had his first daughter when he was in his early 30s. And he said, I probably should have.
He was successful, SNEAKO.
No, when he was 24, 25, he wasn't. They were broke until they were like 28. That's when they made their first million. They talk about all the failed business they've had. I've talked to a lot of fathers who at a certain point, they're like, yeah, there's no reason why I shouldn't have had kids earlier. It actually like makes you become a better provider. You become more mature sooner. I've seen a lot of benefits to having kids young that isn't advocated. And I understand like you don't want to have kids with the wrong person, but it will build you as a man from what people tell me more than anything else. Like it gives you more responsibility. It gives you a bigger purpose in life. It's going to give you that extra motivation that
I better see you with a kid next year, nigga.
Facts.
Yeah.
After that shit. And I would argue how many dads are deadbeats?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Many. So that point is mute because, bro, once again, that can be a possibility. Was it a probability? Is it really gonna happen? Who knows? It's up to fate. I'm just saying, personally speaking, your odds are better off.
Yeah, but the odds that the 19,000 people watching are going to become high value men is as equal as they're going to become successful fathers. We say you need to become a high value man. Why don't we say you should also become a high value father?
Right.
Because you become a high value father from conquering other things, so that when you come home, your son looks at you as the hero.
You don't think you could conquer and raise a kid at the same time?
What's that?
You can't conquer and have kids at the same time? Why not? Why do you need to go conquer the world before you have kids? Why can't the two?
Because it becomes very difficult for you to conquer the world while simultaneously being the best father. I think it's best to become that superhero, build it, then have the children, and they look up to you. So when your kid walks into a room, he's like, "Oh, you're such and such son." I look at it like that. Like, fuck, your kid shouldn't even be looking at like superheroes or athletes. They should be like, "I want to be like my fucking dad." Like, that's how I look at it. And for you to be that guy, you have to build it first, man. It takes decades.
I mean, I thought of my dad as a superhero my whole time growing up, and he wasn't like high value, like extreme status with a bunch of Lamborghinis. He works a normal job, but I always looked up at him as a superhero because of like how he was in the home and how he was raising us. You don't have to be a conqueror to think of like to admire your dad and respect your dad. A lot of it is about the character and the way that they raise you. That was the most important thing. I always saw him as a superhero, but you know, he didn't conquer the world.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's subjective, but I would argue in today's social media world with television and everything else like that, I mean, dude, it's very competitive. So I think as a man, you should build it, have the family, everything is established, castle's already built, it's good to go. Now, is it great and gratifying to build something with a woman and have children in the process and kind of figure it out as you go? That's great too. But I would argue in today's day and age with the economy getting worse, the nuclear family dying, the fact that inflation is a big thing, you need to make more money to survive. Like the days of figuring it out like the 1950s on one income are done, bro. Like if you don't have your shit together as a man and you're not providing, like your wife shouldn't even be working, in my opinion. I don't think your girl should work. I think if she does want to work, it's
unless she
elective.
wants to.
But for you to be able to do that, yeah, I think she should be working electively, not mandatory. You work mandatory, she works electively. For you to be able to give your woman that privilege, you got to really bust your ass.
Yeah,
you do. We agree on that completely financially, but I see that as part of the big decline of the West. And I understand that we're teaching men how to operate in a society that is not incentivized for you to have a family. But that's the only solution to fix this problem is to raise some good children and have a good family. That's the only fix.
It's not changing, bro. That's what I'm trying. Like feminism is here. I'm trying to tell you, like feminism is here. It's not. They're not conceding.
Yeah.
Like women don't want to be wives. They want to get married, but they don't want to be wives. When half the population doesn't want to be wives, you can't force them. And then on top of that, most women, let's keep it 1,000, don't like most men. An average dude 50 years ago, I'm telling you, an average dude 50, 60 years ago could have had a regular factory job and gotten a dutiful wife that would stay home, be able to raise a family. Nowadays, women are like, fuck this shit. I could get my own money. Why do I need to be saddled to this average guy? Fuck that. I'm going to chase my own education. A big part of feminism is it allows women to get better guys. Most women don't like most men, bro. That's just how it is.
You got a point?
Sorry, please.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys were talking earlier about how the market in the West is bad, about how women just want to chase dreams
kill
and
Twitter
goals.
and Facebook. Sorry.
And
continue.
how SNEAKO was saying, you know, after traveling, there's a lot of different cultures that, you know, really respect certain things, like especially in Asian cultures, and I'm sure in like European cultures, family is huge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't knock it that you just said with social media and the internet, everything's getting globalized.
Yeah.
So these Western cultures are just going to continue spreading. So to say that to have passport bros and to just outsource your market isn't going to work in the long term, because it looks like these values, like you said, feminism is here to stay. So I think that
in the United States, yes.
I think SNEAKO is right. Like you have to start now. Like it starts with your legacy and what you're doing to change the future.
Oh, really? Okay. You know what? Quit your job. Go find a man.
Right now.
There you go.
Right now.
Like, bro, this is too easy. Like, you really want to?
It sounds good.
It starts here. Quit your job. Go get an average dude working at a factory, making 30 or 40K per year, and have a family with him.
But you just said
exactly.
Women,
That's my point.
No. You said women now are, like everybody said here, being financially stable is so important, right?
Yes.
Because in today's age, one income isn't gonna work, right?
Oh, wait.
You triggered my trap
this
card.
Is too fucking easy. Proving my point even more. Like you say, oh, we go back to traditional. Okay, Quit your job, be a traditional woman, find a guy that's average.
I didn't say
You don't want that.
I didn't say quit traditional. I was saying that you know, as time continues and globalization will continue, the Western ideals and feminism is just going to continue to prosper.
Yeah.
So why would you tell people to outsource and go to different
Because
countries?
there's other places in the world where it hasn't seeped yet, and more than likely, I hate to say it, the poorer the country, typically the more ingrained people are in their gender roles. This is
Colombia.
why places like Colombia, Brazil, etc. Guys are going to these countries because the women are traditionally feminine, the men are traditionally masculine because they have to be based on the country's economy and agricultural, etc.
Yeah, but that's not gonna last forever. So what
That's
are you gonna
true.
do when you know?
Yeah, well,
this
there's always going
happens?
to be richer countries and poorer countries. That's going to last forever.
I think there would definitely be a difference, but I think the ideology in feminism is gonna continue, like you
It
said.
will.
So
It will, but it's
what
not
are you guys
gonna.
gonna do?
It's not gonna spread at the same rate in other places, and other places might not accept it at all. You look at very religious countries, right? You look at like a Saudi Arabia, etc. They're never accepting that shit. They just let women drive.
Even in Colombia,
You
people
know?
are finding out about like that gold mine, so to speak, and it's like a splash of like things
Yeah.
going on there, but it's not fully taking over the whole country.
Yeah,
So
I agree with you. Like, it's not going nowhere. But I mean, my example just proved it just now. Like, you're not going to yield on and concede on your feminist views, and a lot of women aren't. So when
Right.
I mean, you're not going to quit your job, right?
Not at the moment, no.
Exactly, you're not. So, and a lot of you won't, which is cool. But I'm telling guys, don't expect women to change. They're not gonna. So you have to adapt to the market.
Well, what about I don't think that's fair to say because you're going based off of all women in the okay, you can roll your eyes, cool, but
generally,
I'm not rolling my eyes.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
the thing is that men don't like it when women generalize men, right? Women don't like it when men generalize us too, because
Actually, I've never heard a guy complain when a girl generalizes men. When women say men are dogs and
With
everything,
dogs.
I don't see guys complaining.
You're
Okay.
Like, yeah, we
You're
are.
right.
We fuck
It's
bitches,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
it's the women that get mad about generalizations because y'all all think you're special.
no, it's not about being special. It's about the fact that people change. And yes, women are more masculine these days. We have, as we've seen, women are more masculine these days.
Yeah.
But let's look at why. Why are women more masculine these days? It goes back to what we were raised, what we seen while we were raised, how we were raised. A lot of women grew up in households where there was just a mother, you know. So
Hold on, let me
now
ask you a question. Hold on.
Yes.
With all due respect, let's say I was
Yes.
broke and I
Okay.
was fat and I was smoking pot every day.
Okay.
And I wanted to go on a date with you. Would you give me a chance?
No.
Okay. So you don't give a fuck about my problems. Why should I give a fuck about yours?
Ooh.
No, it's not
No,
about
no, hold on. I find it amazing
Okay.
how women can reject men, right? And y'all don't give a fuck why we're losers or we're fat or we're not where we want to be. But y'all expect us to accept the fact that you're masculine. And better yet, we need to know why and understand why and accept you.
No, you don't need to accept
So
that.
who cares about your problem
It's,
that you're
it's
masculine?
not okay. It's not about accepting being masculine. It's about finding a balance between a relationship because there are some women who want to work, as you said. And
Oh, so I
there's-
got to find a balance when I'm dealing with you, but you would never give me a chance to find a
I'm
balance
not
with me.
saying that. I'm not saying that.
Let's bounce this joint.
So let's
bounce
do
these
it.
Cheetos.
So let's do
Nah,
it.
you would never give me a chance.
You
bro.
don't know that. You saying
You just
that
said
it's
no.
so
You just said
pessimistic.
no.
No, if you're coming to me and you're not working on yourself, you're big and you're smoking weed, getting high, and you're not doing anything with your life.
Yeah. Okay, if you come to me and you act like me and you're a dude and you're masculine, I don't like that. That's the equivalent.
And that's
Hold on,
fine.
hold on. Did you see what I did there?
Yeah.
See how you rejected me for certain traits? I didn't bat an eye.
Yes.
But you're saying I'm masculine. And here's why. I don't care that you're masculine. It's over. It's over.
Okay, so you don't want okay, so say you like a woman, right?
The world doesn't give a fuck about your problems, just like y'all don't give a fuck about our problems.
It's not a problem though.
It
It's
is a problem.
something that
Being a
it's
masculine woman
something
is a
that
problem.
can be fixed. It's
No.
something that we can learn to
A masculine woman is always masculine, bro. Like that's like you. That's like me saying, "Oh, I like to twist my hand like this and everything, but I turn it off every now and then." Fuck no, I'm just gay. Like I'm feminine as fuck, and women, and it's gonna come out eventually.
But
if you're a masculine woman, it's gonna come out eventually. Just like me, I'm a feminine man. It's gonna come out, and you're gonna be like, "Ew, the fuck." That's disgusting. Why are you acting like a girl? Same thing for me. Ew, that's disgusting. Why the fuck are you acting like a guy?
I get what you're saying though, because ultimately some women do want to make a change. But imagine being this way for 25, 30 years. That won't change overnight.
not.
Right,
And ultimately,
right.
at the same time, is it going to change fast enough for us to stay together? Probably not.
maybe,
So,
maybe
that's
not.
the sad part.
Hell, I might not even
Maybe.
give you a chance if you act like you
that's
talk
the sad
to me
part.
like this and shit.
Yeah,
And I understand.
nigga.
No, the thing is, I understand what you're saying because I do see where I can be very masculine. I do see other women where they can be very masculine. And the more that I realize in myself that, okay, this is too damn masculine. It makes me realize, okay, men are not attracted to this. You know, men love feminism, not that in that sense, but men love.
You mean feminine women?
Yes, feminine women, femininity. And like you said, it's something that needs to be worked on. We need to learn how to be more feminine because we are not. And again, back to what he's saying, we don't concerned about your problems. I understand that, but we have to learn how to be more feminine. That's just the day and age that we're in. We have to learn how to be more feminine.
Yeah, but I mean, think about this, right?
Think about this.
Think about this. Here's the scary part. Like you said that, you know that you're masculine, whatever. Those are just the times you caught yourself.
Right.
Think of all the times that a dude came up to you and maybe wanted to talk to you, or maybe he saw you interact with your friends, or he saw the way you spoke. They're like, oh, damn, she was cute, but damn, I'm good. I'm not going to go up to her. Here's the difference. Women, when y'all get curved silently. You don't even know you're getting curved.
Yeah.
With us, we got to get curved right up front. We got to walk up to you. Hi, you're cute. I have a boyfriend.
Ew.
Or no.
Stay away.
Men get curved up front, so we know we're a loser. Y'all don't get curved up front, so you don't know when you guys are losers. That's what sucks with women. You guys don't get negative reinforcement for your fuck up. That's why so many girls think they're special. They don't self-improve. I don't get rejected because no guy comes up to me. And then they don't understand. No guy comes up to you because you act like a fucking guy. At least for us, we go up to a girl, ew, I'm good. You get rejected after 50 times. You're like, damn, maybe I need to go to the gym. Or maybe I stink.
Or they want to smash, so they'll play the game to get a couple of smashes in. So you know what? I'm good. And then leave you. And then you wonder why he ghost me, because once again, you were too masculine, but he didn't want to say it to your face.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We'll turn it to the guests. SNEAKO, you had another thing?
Actually, not. Let's do the girls.
Oh, have the girls ask a question?
You got another one or no?
No, that was my question.
That was your question. Okay.
Chat some girls.
Yeah, we can hit the chat. Actually,
we have a lot of chats, man.
oh, we have a lot. Okay,
Cool.
Before I read the chats, any ladies had any things that they wanted to talk about that topic? Had anything, disagreements, whatever?
I actually do have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that a guy is less masculine if he does like a more masculine woman?
Yes.
Yes.
That like
Typically,
lowers him,
There's always a
right?
balance.
Typically, yeah.
Right.
Like
okay.
ultra masculine guys like ultra feminine women. And then you get these kind of like bisexual people in the middle, and they're like the woman's really masculine and the guy's like pink hair and stuff.
Right. Okay. So like if a woman was like feminine but masculine, like not fully feminine but
Smart
not fully
retard? That makes sense.
Huh?
Exactly. I said the same shit when what you said.
Yeah, it's like half and half, because I know some girls like that. That they're like
No,
like
not really.
they speak a certain type of way.
So you say you know girls like that?
Yeah.
They're gonna find a guy who's a simp.
Yeah. That's like
Is that simple?
low key what they like.
No, that's
No,
not
they
what they
don't.
like. They're power tripping right now. The relationship never works out.
Really?
Yeah, they're
No.
single. Yeah.
No.
This is what happens with simps. The girl will tolerate him for a bit and then realize, like, God damn, this guy's such a bitch. I talk to him crazy.
No,
and she
yeah.
eventually gets bored and leaves him.
Real, yeah.
True.
That's happened a couple times.
Yeah, like, so that's the problem. Like, masculine women, the thing is that the problem with masculine women is they need hyper masculine men. And the guys that are hyper masculine damn near need to smack that bitch to get her in line. And most guys don't want to do that unless you get a really toxic guy that will do that. And that turns girls on and you have this fucked up relationship. But most guys that are masculine, that are not pieces of shit, don't want super masculine women because they know, like, yo, this is a pain in the ass. I'm dealing with myself. So,
Right.
yeah, most of the time when I see a guy with a masculine woman, his value's low.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't have the ability to attract a naturally feminine woman, because naturally feminine women need guys that are masculine
Right.
to complement that.
My advice for you, if you're 18 and you're like that, you're kind of masculine sometimes, I wouldn't try to look for a guy that's going to balance that out. I would try to stay in my feminine state more and get with the masculine guy.
No,
That's
yeah.
going to be a happier relationship.
Dude,
ultimately.
I honestly, I'm not gonna hold you. Like when I was more in my younger age, I was trying to be very masculine.
Her boyfriend is simp.
Huh?
Never mind. Nah, your boyfriend is simp, bro. I already know.
No, like I was trying to be really masculine as a kid and like growing up, but I learned that I don't really like that, and that's not me being my full self. So I was trying to get more into my feminine side. That's why I wanted to know.
What do you think turns you into a masculine woman? Because you don't seem like you have that much testosterone in your body.
Right. Okay. So I'm not gonna hold you. Like I am out
Don't
of
hold me.
pocket with. I'm not gonna. I'm low key out of pocket like with my manners sometimes. Like I burp like hardcore burping, and I sit like a man would
manspread?
sometimes. Huh?
You manspread?
And sometimes I put like, cause I learned it from my dad. Like my dad is like my hero too. So like whenever I see him doing something, I usually copy it. But I need to learn that I'm my own person.
Yeah. Don't
So that's what I've been doing. Cause
Where's
it's
your
like,
mom?
no, my mom is home. I love her.
Okay.
It's just like she does her own thing, but I've always looked up to my dad more for some reason. Cause he's like the breadwinner, low key. They're both like equals, but not the same.
Yeah, I think you should go on Snapchat less. I think you need to take a break from the social media because that's where the programming starts. That's where women are taught that this is what you're supposed to do. You won't get any negative reinforcement for that. It's encouraged. You're told to be girl bosses. Lay off the Snapchat a little bit. Yeah, be all right.
Okay, we got some chats here.
I have a question. I mean, something to ask. So what would you guys say? Because I think the fair, like as a woman, we all here in this table and over there, we're all scared of being called
masculine
gold diggers. So
Gold diggers?
yes.
I don't think.
Wait.
That's not a bad thing,
No. Wait. So this is my question. If you ask them, aren't you scared of being called gold digger? That's why you're answering those things, the emotional things, you know? So my question is we have two things or one single thing. Either a woman that is with woman energy, right? Or a gold digger. Or is the same, and is the same a woman with female energy and a gold digger, and it's the same way that you say excuse me or pardon me.
So here's the thing about gold digger. The people that are going to use that term are jealous women and broke men. So just don't be in those circles anymore and don't let that affect you. I actually think that if any of you answered that, I understand why you said all the things about character and maturity and emotions because you don't want to be seen like a gold digger on a men's podcast. But I actually think that shows proper traits in a woman who's looking to be a mother because you want to have a guy who's rich and successful and that's able to provide for the children. It's not a bad thing to want a rich guy. You're a gold digger when when you don't care about him and then you divorce him or you leave after you get the engagement ring just because you wanted to get the ring. That actually does happen a lot of time and the woman won't return the ring. But if you are valuing a guy who is successful because he has the right traits in order to become rich, he's smart, he knows how to navigate the world, I think that's a good trait for a woman to look for. That's not a bad thing. And just don't let that shame get to you. It's only broke dudes saying that. I don't think that I wouldn't call you that.
I'm asking it because I've seen like rich guys, successful guys, and they're like mid 30s, 29, 35s, and they just call us gold diggers just for being female energies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
no.
I think that's what makes us scared of being honest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but all girls look for guys that make more money. My thing is this: if you don't want to be a gold digger as a woman, reciprocate value. And what I mean by that is, if the guy's making money, right, and he's successful, you don't just come in and be an annoying bimbo not doing shit. That's what most hot girls do, and that's why they get labeled a gold digger and useless. But when you come in, you add value, you make his life easier, you're pleasant to be around, you make him look good in front of his friends, you're helping him out with shit. You see him like he's trying to book a trip or some shit, like hey, I'll take care of that for you. You're helping him with like bullshit that he doesn't want to necessarily do. Like that's when you're adding value. He can't call you a gold digger then. He can't because you're adding value. Women only get called gold diggers when they're useless. So
love it. Thank you.
Good point.
Yeah, no problem.
Would
all right
any of the guys here get a vasectomy right now? Why or why not?
Stupid. Question, actually. No,
that's a good question. What are you talking about?
That's a good question.
Why would you?
I wouldn't get one. I mean, no, I've never gotten one. I wouldn't get one, but I would have knocked someone that was in my position that would. You know what I mean? So
why wouldn't you get one though?
Me?
You didn't answer.
Because I'm old, bro. I'm 33. Who knows? So, what about you?
I might have already did that.
No, shit. Let's move on. All right,
and
then SNEAKO, you, it's a no for you, right?
For real?
So,
you got the snip?
Move on.
Wow, fresh as snip, bro. Fresh as trans. Nah, I didn't. I wouldn't get that. I wouldn't get that.
No, I just I don't have that problem.
Freshina.
If that makes sense.
All right.
That's it. Your job.